I hope you're having a great evening. My name is Bleaves. This is Bedtime with Bleaves. We're going to tuck you in with all that sweet, sweet, juicy knowledge that you need to get you through the evening. Now, first things up, Kathy Wood and ARK have filed an amendment to their S1 Bitcoin filing. And in this amendment, they said that they are going to do an 80 basis point management fee, which is lower than any of the other ones, which means that for $100, you're only going to be charged an 80-cent fee. Also, when the Fed balance sheet was trending earlier today on X, you know what was trending right next to it? Bitcoin. Something big is getting ready to happen. The DOJ and Binance are looking at a $4 billion cash deal, and the DOJ would withhold prosecution, including penalty payments and admissions of wrongdoing, and there would be a compliance monitoring. So this is a big moment for Binance. What are they going to do? Now, there is an analysis out here right now that just popped out using the Ichimoku clouds, and it says that there is zero, almost zero, a little bit more than zero, but almost zero resistance left from Bitcoin from 37,500 to 68,000. All of it is just purely mental. Also, there is a catalyst that Jack Mallers says could propel Bitcoin to an immediate six-figure neck-breaking pace. Binance started to spike because of this DOJ deal. Bitcoin transaction costs surpassed Ethereum because of the ordinals resurgent over the last couple days, and the Ethereum exchange supply just hit a 5-year low. Does that mean that a $4,000 Bitcoin or a $4,000 Ethereum is getting ready to happen? I don't know. We're going to find out. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleav. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 It's been a long day, I mean a long week, maybe a long year, so let's get something clear. We're gonna stock up on some party favors later on. Tell everybody they're invited, you should come along. Best to bring your good foot, ladies gonna be dancing on the ceiling. Cocky and appealing, possibly revealing. Getting sideways like a bridesmaid as she vibrate. If you a lightweight, hope you hydrate. We gon' tip the bottles back, busting out the fat sacks. People wearing costumes, chewing on a mushroom. Something like a wonderland, understand? Going down the rabbit hole with my kinfolk to another land. Damn, I said we do it like this. Magic carpet riders on some third eye shit. Mr. Pine Cones come a long, long way, so everybody get sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great evening. My name is Bleaves. This is Bedtime with Bleaves. We're here. We're also here. And that's, I guess, all we're going to say, because you never know what's going to pop out of my mouth. Kai Schlott says, hey, Bleaves, have you checked out Opti? As a matter of fact, I partnered with them and did a video for them several months ago. Have I checked it out? Yeah. Matter of fact, got smashed on it. Ended up putting in, I want to say $1,000, ended up cashing out about $400. But it went down to like $100 at one point. And then it reversed and it was up to about $300. The last time I looked, it was having a little bit of reversal. Anything that engages Elon Musk at some point will start pumping and will have a nice little run. So this is one of them that uses the Optimus protocol, which is the robot that is going to be better than Tesla and more profitable for Tesla than the Tesla cars. And hopefully, if that's the case, then it's supposed to be a cash cow. So Optimus is one of those that's just kind of always been on my radar. It came from the people, the makers of Floki. A lot of the guys from Floki were the ones that came up with the Optimus. It floated around just like most of these other tokens. Had a nice little run, did a good bit, and then just started to capitulate with the rest of the market. If you're not here for a quick pump, then it starts to dump down. We'll see whether or not it has legs when we get to the bull market. I mean, obviously everything is going to pump in that bull market, but I'm not sure a lot of these things, I mean, look, they don't have use case. They don't have utilities. They don't have reasons to exist that surmount beyond we have a strong community. And I would say that only gets you so far, but I'm going to get you Dogecoin, we get you a SHIB. So anything is possible, especially when you have Elon Musk's name. For those of you that don't know, I have created my own token. It's called MUSK, #MUSK, Elon Muskrat. And if you haven't checked it out so far, certainly go do your own research and check it out for yourself. And at some point, it's going to be a life-changing sort of run just because of its association with Elon Musk. So, I understand that at some point there's going to be a moment where it just absolutely rips and absolutely takes off. So I'm doing the same thing that they're doing. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. So anyway, if you're new to the show, please make sure you leave a comment. Please sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. If you want to help me, the greatest thing that you can do is we are doing members only content on the channel now. So if you want to be part of that members only content, then make sure that you sign up and hit the join button, which is located like right down over here on your screen. If you're using it in portrait mode, then you have to turn to landscape mode. And then from landscape mode, you can join the channel. And then you can get in on the members content. And then that would be a very cool thing. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I get to 1,000 subscribers, and that helps quite a bit. So make sure you like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Also, if you are looking for trading, Fair Desk, we have MEXC, we have Bing, we have Pionex. In fact, I have a couple that are not even up here: Gate.io, BitGet, Bybit. I've got them all. So you can look at the description in the link down below. If you're using somebody else, you can actually change your affiliate link to mine if you wanted to. If you're using somebody else, if you like me, hint, hint. You know what I mean? So anyway, and NordVPN for your privacy, security, and safety. And Cryptonomy.finance. There's going to be an ad later. You can check that out when we get there. But let's get into the news. Let's get into what is going on. And first and foremost on this is Cathie Wood's. Cathie Wood, they filed another ERC-21 amendment. This means that the SEC, here's the thing to consider here. The SEC is becoming compliant with them. They're making sure that they go through all of the steps, all of the motions, and all of these people are doing what is called due diligence to make sure that the SEC has everything they need for compliance purposes so that they can do something with this. They want to approve this spot Bitcoin ETF. They understand what they've done with Grayscale, and I think that it's only a matter of time now for Bitcoin to get that approval. That being said, we are going to have some moments here with volatility in the market. If you look at Bitcoin right now, you'll see it had a nice little run up here just a few minutes ago and crashed back down. I'm on the 5-minute chart, by the way. So it just ran up here to 37,600. So we're looking at almost 38,000 Bitcoin. And Ethereum had a nice little run this morning. Had a good little noon around 2,067. And look, most people are talking about a 2,100 to 2,500 Ethereum coming like very, very soon because the supply of Ethereum is way down. So that would mean that there is going to be at some point a run on the price, or there should be. Have we seen it yet? No, but we are seeing a little bit of strength out of Ethereum as these days are going by. And if we get a nice little pump off of Bitcoin tonight, then guess what pumps with it? Ethereum. So let's check all of this stuff out and see what it is that's going to happen. So Bitcoin is trending while the Fed balance sheet is trending, which is an amazing thing. When you see When you see this start to happen and you start to see these things trending together, then you know that something parabolic and big is getting ready to come. The DOJ Binance deal, it says it aims to keep Binance operational to avert market risk. The DOJ would withhold prosecution if conditions, including penalty payment and admission of wrongdoing, are met. So I think that that's going to be something that CZ will find too enticing to not. And compliance monitoring would be established, which means that for those of you that are using Binance.us, it means that Binance.us would be back in business. Binance would be back in business. They would be free and clear of the SEC, the regulations. They would have some oversight and compliance monitors put in place, which in fact is probably something that CZ Binance would like to see happen in the United States, because I think that he understands that mass adoption and the United States go hand in hand. Well, with that being the case, BNB price has now spiked, and we're starting to get finally a run. And look at what's going on with BNB. Now, if we zoom out just a little bit more, this is a 5-minute chart, remember. This is 248. In the last bunch of hours, it's pumped up over 10%. So when I do the 1 hour chart and I start to zoom out and we get an idea of what's going on here, remember, this was 212 about a month ago, 204 about a month ago, and it's up to 268 right now. So BNB is having a massive reversal, and the Asian market is open. They love BNB in the Asian markets. So maybe we're going to see something big happen with Binance, with BNB in the coming days, weeks, and months to provide some clarity for the market. And I mean, we'll see what we see, but it looks really good right now. This is another piece of good news coming out in the crypto market that's been sorely needing it for a while now. Now, the next thing up is the Ichimoku cloud. We've talked about Ichimoku, I want to say back in May, maybe. Every once in a while, we get an article that talks about the Ichimoku clouds, and it's called the it's what it says is that right here, the cloud plots where future support and resistance may lie. The Tenkan-san and Kijun-san act as a trend following tool that cross bearish and bullish depending on price action. These spans do also act as support and resistance. With all that out of the way, all it takes is one glance at the chart below, and we can see there is a very little 1 million Bitcoin resistance left. So what they're basically saying here is that there is some resistance around 40,000, which if we got a nice spike, continuing to spike right here with BNB. But what's saying overall is that when we come out here, we get onto a weekly chart, something like that, then 42,166. That's my number, guys, right? Why did I pick that number? Well, because it represents the top over there. But if you go back here, then it actually represents a lot of support and resistance all the way back here. So you might want to call it 43,000 because it's just this long standing line. Again, to me, this is the drop off. This is where things really capitulated. So that was the Terra collapse. So 43,000 represents this very specific spot on the chart. So hopefully that's what we're gonna see as the next one. And then you have a nice little confluence right here at the top, and we'll actually put a ray up here so you can see that. Like, it's right here at, I want to say right about there. And that covers all of it. That's 60,000 as resistance. Those are the only two big resistance points that are left. Now, I would argue that 46 is right there, but what they're saying is that there was so much traffic going up and down through that range that it doesn't really quantify or qualify. But I'm going to say that we're going to put this right about 47,000. I want to say, like, right about there. So a couple more ranges, and then Bitcoin is ready for an absolute breakout. Now, of course, it takes the capital entering the market for something like that to happen. Otherwise, it will not happen. But it looks like, and it's starting to look like, we've got a lot of stuff going on. So it's absolutely starting to get crazy. So we'll see what happens there. With, I don't know who that is, by the way, guys. So anyway, it looks like we've got clear skies and smooth sailing. With this catalyst, could trigger a Bitcoin explosion to a 6-figure price, a breakneck pace, says Jack Mallers. He says, oh my gosh, this thing is going to hundreds of thousands of dollars per coin. The US government is in so much debt. The way I think about Bitcoin price is it equals technology plus fiat liquidity. So it's going to go up because it's innovative tech and it's better money. But what really shoots it up a neck breaking pace is when our government is tens of trillions of dollars in debt and has to roll that debt over. So they got a lot of money to print and financial assets are going to soar. Bitcoin goes up the most because it's the hardest to make more of. So according to Mallers, the government will continue to print money to prop up the economy rather than opt for a hard reset, a move that will cause assets such as stock, crypto, and gold to soar. Basically, what he's saying is they're about to turn that money printer back on, which we've heard of. We've heard a lot of people talking about it. That there's a lot of underlying current here that the money printers are about to get kicked back on, and when they start and when we start adding money to the economy in order to satisfy debt, then boom, we're in for an explosion, because that's going to be extra money being put into the people who already have plenty of money. And what do? They put that into risk, and they throw it at risk because they know that there's going to be a big pump when that comes. So the only way to save yourself is to own not dollars. And that's when you see things like the S&P 500, gold, and Bitcoin soar. That's what's going to happen over the next 2 years. So you better get packing because it's getting ready to happen. Bitcoin transactions, in the meanwhile, surpassed those on Ethereum amid the ordinal resurgence. Bitcoin's average transaction fee increased from $8.59 to $12.75, while Ethereum's average transaction fee was $7.55. So it's about 50% more cost for Ethereum trades than it was, or I'm sorry, for Bitcoin trades than it was for Ethereum. So unbelievable. Next up, Ethereum exchange supply hits 5-year low. Will it propel Ethereum to $4,000? And investors have shifted 152,000 Ethereum into long-term storage since BlackRock's official spot ETF filing on November 15. Now, when we start to get news about what's going on with BlackRock, and we start to get these updates to the BlackRock ETF and the other ETFs that are coming out, we're going to start to see little pumps happening. And each time we're going to see a bigger and bigger and bigger pump. Now imagine what's going to happen here. And by the way, we don't need this anymore. This is 2020. We can actually come down here to a smaller time frame and just kind of ignore that. But that, by the way, was the last last halving. So if we look at Ethereum right now, it is still struggling. You know, we do have to look at it on that basis. It is still kind of struggling, even though, and I do have to say, like, even though it's really kind of had a nice run, like we've got to kind of look at it and, you know, what do we see forming? What's forming here on the 1 hour? What does the flow look like? So if we check this out, then we see money flow coming in. We see the money flow did come out right here, but we didn't dip that much. That was not too bad of a dip that we had right here and over here when we had money flow coming out as well. We've got a green dot minted right now on the 1 hour, which would indicate money is pumping back into the market. If we look at our predictive ranges, then we see that it's right at the point of control right now, a little bit high. So maybe some potential downside, but really looking good overall. So just to give you guys an update on what I am doing, I went ahead and took a buy, and I took a FOMO buy, a little bit of a FOMO buy on Ethereum today, and I bought it at 2040 because I do think that it's going to go for a run, right? So I bought right around here because I saw that this was kind of that resistance area, and I think it's about to break through that resistance. So what I did was I bought there at 2040, and then I set another buy, a small buy at 1970 with my liquidation price being 1951. So, and it's going 20x. So what I'm doing is I'm hedging here, thinking if it goes up here, then it goes to 2140 where it was a couple days ago, then it's a small $142 profit. But if it comes down into this range, then this will stop me from getting liquidated. This will add to the bag. This will DCA me from 2040 to 1970 all the way down to about 2010. And then if it pumps up to about 2010 or 2030, right back to where it is right now without getting me liquidated down here, which would be entry price, that's going to be about 90. So 90, 1900, around 18, about 1900 would be my liquidation price. So hopefully it won't go down there again. But you know, if it starts to get on another run, if it starts to play out, then that could be a few $100. on this play. So it was worth it to take the risk just to see what happens on Ethereum. But I do think that Ethereum is getting ready to have that run. U.S. Treasuries continue to fall. Liquidity right now, if you look at the map right here, you can see the liquidity right here at 37.8 on Bitcoin, which means that we're probably headed in that direction. You can see the bounce came down here and it started to push its way up. Now, when you look at the shorter time frames, which seems to be where a lot of the action is happening right here, you can see 37.2, and then you can see just a nice big pool of liquidity like right in this range, which means that a bunch of shorts are about to get wrecked if it makes that move. And from the look of the market, it's up $8 billion. So it looks like that's exactly what they're going for, is they're starting to push their way up into that liquidity pool to see if they can get into this little range. Now, if they get into this little range, then the top of the maximum move is about 38,200 at a guess. But I wouldn't think that it would go that far. I think the most likely scenario is to stop at 37,933. Somewhere in the 37,950 maybe, and then come back down and grab this down here. So if that is the case, then we could be looking at a move that looks something like this. We're going to get a push up here, liquidations all around, and then we're going to come back down here, and then these guys are going to get liquidated next. So, but that's just a guess. I'm really just kind of guessing on it. This is the overall Bitcoin. By the way, we used to look at Bitcoin from the Binance perpetuals. This is the overall liquidation map with a combination of all of these exchanges. So I guess we should be looking at this one, but we're not so far. Ethereum, however, we can actually go now and we can look at Ethereum. And if you look at Ethereum on the 3-day, then, it basically tells you that we've got downside pressure coming, that there's a good pool that we could draw all the way down here into this range. That's probably bearish at 1926, but come to the 24-hour, and then on the 24-hour, then you see that, there's also this little run up here at 2050, maybe even coming up into this range almost at 2100 one more time before coming down and grabbing this. And then you look at the 12-hour and you see kind of the same thing. It's a little bit higher overall, but maybe 2087 at a maximum, getting back into this 2050 range. Doesn't matter to me. I'm going to make money no matter what. So longer time frames still telling me that this market needs to come down, needs to cool off just a little bit. There's a lot of money just kind of sitting here in this range, probably going to make it very, very difficult in this market. There's a lot of money down here waiting. A lot of people in profit. By the way, this thing will clear itself out if we continue to move to the upside, by the way, because all of these people will end up taking profit at some point along the way. We could never see that again, and it's not a problem, and that liquidity will eventually come back into the market. Actually, it'll be pulled out because they'll take profit, but hopefully then they become buyers one more time around. So that's where we are. Overall, market looking pretty good. And boom, it looks like we just crashed, I think. Nah. All right, still at 74. We'll get an update on that tomorrow. Muskrat is dead. So we had a little drawback here from a couple $1 billion on our little pump. Looking kind of weak. Ben had a nice little run. For those of you that don't know, Ben got the stake deal back on Ben Armstrong crypto channel. So ta-da. Thank you for the $5 bomb for Robert T. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. So Ben got his stake deal back. Not the full stake deal, I'm sure, but some kind of version of stake deal. But the important thing was stuck an L to Discover Crypto one more time. While Discover Crypto is out here telling anybody who will listen about how Ben is screwing everything up and blah, 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 blah. He just continues to build and continues to win. And it's starting to get embarrassing for hit networks. And they're going to be like, oh, it's not embarrassing at all, man. We're doing great things over here. We're discovering crypto and all that kind of stupid shit, right? Well, you better figure something out, because you got to keep making that payroll, and that payroll is not getting tighter. It's not getting tighter at all. Now, excuse me. So now let's dig into Bitcoin and figure out where we are next. So We got everything up on the chart. We're going to remove the predictive ranges because we don't care about that. That's for trading. When we look at this, we are in a bullish pattern right now. The 200 and the 50 have crossed over. We got a golden cross on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, we are still pushing up. The 200 SMA is still making its way up here. At some point, it's going to be a cooling off, but it continues to move. So if we come and we test on the 4 hour, the 200 SMA, that's 35,000 right now. So, you know, we're kind of putting ourselves out of range of one of those gigantic moves to the downside. Remember, the 200 SMA on this one is now up to 29,000 on the 1 day. So continuing to soar over the next few days. It's going to continue in the pattern that it's in right now, which is going to be like this. So when we get over here towards the middle of December, it'll be up over 30,000 if this continues. Now, of course, it could get parabolic if it continues this trajectory. And I mean, this last move right here, if we get another one of these moves, then this gets a little more parabolic and it starts to move up faster. So, of course, that means that our lowest test becomes something else. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But we're also getting, it looks like, a quick sell-off happening right now. Maybe, just maybe, this is the Bollinger Band. The Bollinger Band is starting to tighten up. You can see that right here. You can see this moving up and this moving down, which means that we're probably in for a, you know, not a parabolic move, but a big move one way or another. The most likely scenario for it right now would be we've had a couple of downward momentums, and we've got this M pattern playing out right here. So the most likely move is probably to this upside for a little bit of range. I don't know when I push it up that way. I don't know if it goes up that high, but that's what we're looking at. And it's testing the top over here of this channel. So it could be that we're going to continue on and we're going to have one of these big breakout moves yet again. I don't know for sure. Just kind of looks like that. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Over here, we got Grok at 84.24. Grok still nothing changed. They might be on Twitter talking a good game, saying things like, "We mooning, son. We doing it, dog." A bullshit. You're just doing exactly what I said you were going to do. Now, by the way, if you can go on to MEXC, I would highly advise that set yourself a little buy order right here around 92, 93 right here. Short that shit down to 57 because it is going to collapse at some point pretty soon, most probably. Now, you might also see that some money came out of MUSK and ended up in 100x gems for some reason. Somebody that follows me probably taking profit doing something like that. Who knows? AVIC. I did have content come out for AVIC today. You saw that come out, and now we've got another spike. We got AVIC up another 12% on the day. Looking for, look, this thing is going to end up. I feel pretty comfortable when we look at this thing overall. When we look at what it's doing right here. When I'm checking this out, like I get a sense here that this probably has some legs in the long term. The reason most predominantly is because the place where we're getting a lot of crypto adoption, the place where we're getting a lot of stuff, I want to say, going on is in South America and the Spanish islands around the United States. And look at this. This is run by Hispanic gentlemen, and they know the people who are in this in all of these locations. They know what it takes to do business in Hispanic countries. So I get the sense, I get the feeling that South America, El Salvador, Argentina, I think all of these different places, this, and look, I don't know anything about, all I know is what I read in the news about crypto in South America, right? Argentina, El Salvador. All I know is what I read there, right? I can flip this over to English, by the way, and, you know, I can get a translation of it, but I don't know. Like, I have no idea. All I'm doing is just kind of guessing based on the information that I can see over here and what I get from the guys that are working. And guys, I get the feeling that this thing is going to erupt at some point. Now, it's on the BNB chain, by the way. So it is a BNB wrapped pair, so it's inexpensive to enter a position. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I am telling you this, that I have entered a position. My position was 800, and I think it's now, I want to say 1,200, 1,400, something like that. Like I've made I've made a pretty good move so far, and they just burned 150 million out of their tokens, and their supply here is 300 million. And just to give you guys kind of an idea here, and again, I don't know if this is a fair comparison or not. I don't know that it is a fair comparison, but there is a token over here. Pundi X, which does the same thing. It's a payment gateway, payment processor, and they are working in the same region, and they have 131 million market cap, and they have the same kind of circulating supply of 258 million. Now, this thing were to do, something along the lines of what they're doing right there, that's about a 70x from this position right now. I feel comfortable that I feel comfortable with that. These guys are professionals; they know what they're doing so far, and I get the sense that this thing is probably going to be. And look, I don't want to say that this is going to be a game changer or a life changer. This is just something that has a great opportunity for a tremendous amount of upside. This is something that has a great opportunity. And I mean, it's got 2.3 million market cap, 178,000 in liquidity. So it's got a decent ratio. That ratio will improve, of course, as investors come in. This market is dead. We know that retail investors are not there, but these guys have their own capital on hand. They can build through this market. They can do what they need to do. As you come down here, you see that there's no buy tax. There's a sell tax of 3%. That's it. Low volume, but this has been around for over a year. You can, as a matter of fact, you can kind of go back here, You can go back here and you can see, like, price action wise, it's almost at an all-time high right now. The all-time high was like 2.5 cents or 2.1, something like that. Like, it's not high, right? It's almost back to its all-time high again. So what it had a nice launch. Everybody sold off, of course. Then they just kept ranging around. They kept building their business, kept building everything. And then boom, now it's starting to pay dividends, and their token prices are starting to reverse. I mean, they're 10x up from where they were, what's this, August? So they're up 10x from August. So don't sleep on this one. Or if you do, that's on you. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you where to put your money. I can't tell you what a solid investment is. But Avenida Crypto sounds to me, or seems to me, like it could have the potential to be a good one. Saitama is on the move. Cytochain is going into beta testing. So it is possible that Saitama has a nice little run. Promethean Prodigies at 31.93. Still ranging down here. It does look like it's having a bit of a breakout, but that's really just me kind of doing that early. Like, that's probably it's probably just testing right now, that range. We'll see if it breaks out or if it breaks down. Don't know where that is yet. But we do have some old, old Volt holders. They're spending a lot of time over there on Promethean Prodigy. And I do think there's a video by Austin Hilton. I mean, I don't think that moves the chart or moves the needle, but there is, there is some stuff out there. Advantis 1326, Bone 6374, Dubai X 2834, Ben 1130, Shib 8483, Wagme 1534. Wagme, I guess it looks like to me that this may be done. That run, it was on a good run, popped up to about 1679. And now it looks like it's just kind of getting worn out and tired and starting to curl down. Now, if we get a reversal off of it and it bounces up here, then I told you before I was going to liquidate at 17, right around this area up here, if it even has a chance to get up here. If not, I'll just continue to hold it. But if it comes up in this 1770 range, something like that, then nope, no more. 1125 on Pepe, 2942 on Volt, Calcium down to 6532. And then MUSK 3922. I don't know who you were that sold off, but I'll find you. I have ways of finding you. Actually, I don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, you do you, man. Buying and selling. That's how. That's how this That's how we get funding in order to do stuff. So buy and sell all you want on this chart, and go find 100 more people to do the same thing. So that's it. That's the update for you guys. First of all, let me do this right here. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I want to talk to you today about my newest partner, and that is Cryptonomy.finance. It's a venture capital fund, a trading organization, and or not. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I want to talk to you today about my newest partner, and that is Cryptonomy.finance. It's a venture capital fund, a trading organization, and a crypto credit company. You can utilize this platform as a crypto wallet, which I'm going to show you in a second, a staking platform, and a launch pool. So I'm going to make a deposit here. I've already made a deposit, by the way, and we're going to start earning. I'm going to stake a little bit of this, and this is going to be something for you guys to maybe earn yourself some yield. And the first thing that we're going to do is come over here. Now, I've already created an account. I've already done my pieces. So I'm going to here start earning. And first and foremost, you do have your wallet over here. So you can click on your wallet at any time and you can see exactly what you have and what your holdings are. And if you're worried about small balances, you just click on this and it will allow you to hide your small balances right there. So you see what I have available for the moment. So, but interest accounts here, we're gonna, this is your flexible borrowing, right? This is your APY of 24% on Bitcoin, 25% on Ethereum. There's some really good and really nice APY rewards that are available to you through this project. And as I go down this list, you're going to see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of different projects that you might just want to be part of here. Shiba Inu, you've got all right, that's it. Cryptonomy.finance, guys, go check them out. Look, if you have crypto that you're holding on to for a long term, there's always a risk when you're trying to stake something. There's always a risk because it's not your keys, not your crypto. So, but you're doing that with any and everybody. So do your due diligence, do your research on Cryptonomy.finance, but they are giving out some very good APYs. Now, I would be very, very nervous if I was at the bottom of the bear market and they're giving out these kinds of APYs. But as we are in a pump mode in the market, I feel a lot better about the possibility that these guys are going to make it through the long term. They're on their way up. They're doing they're coming out of the bear market through the early part of the bull market. Most of their business is done in Bitcoin and through the launch pools, which there's, I'm going to have an updated video for you guys tomorrow about the launch pool. And I'm going to show you how much money that I've made so far. Spoiler alert, it's not a whole lot, but it is money. You know what I mean? Like if as long as it's money, that's what matters. And my crypto is not doing anything else right now. I mean, again, you have to ask yourself if the risk is worth the reward. It's not your keys, not your crypto. But if it's just sitting there on the sidelines, then you have an opportunity. Then again, do your research, check it out for yourself, decide for yourself whether it's worth the risk for the investment, and then take a shot. And if not, then this is not financial advice. My name is Bleav. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. And there's a little outro. If you would leave a comment on the video afterwards, let me know what you think of what I'm doing here. What can I do to improve it? What would make you want to tune in even more than you already do? Thank you so much to everybody who does tune in. Thank you to everybody who is a member of the channel. Remember, members only content coming out constantly.
I'm looking for the good life, sitting on top of the world. I want to be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go.